The wind howled across the frozen canyon, carrying sharp shards of ice that scraped against Leo's protective suit. The sky was a pale silver, reflecting the endless ice fields that stretched to the horizon. Leo pulled his scarf tighter and adjusted his scanner. The device beeped softly, its lights blinking faster as he moved closer to a jagged cliff. He had been sent to investigate unusual energy readings in this remote part of the planet. But nothing in his training had prepared him for the silence that surrounded him now. Strange. These readings are too precise to be natural, Leo muttered to himself. His breath fogged in the cold, and he kicked at the ice to test its thickness. Every step he took echoed in the canyon, a lonely sound in the vast emptiness. Then, from the corner of his eye, he saw movement. A shadow slipped between the ice formations like smoke. Leo froze, his heart beating faster. "Hello? Is someone there?" he called, trying to sound confident. The wind carried his voice, twisting it into a soft whisper. The shadow stepped forward, and Leo gasped. Before him was a figure unlike anything he had ever seen. A woman, or at least humanoid in shape, stood on the ice. Her skin was pale, almost translucent, and her hair flowed like liquid silver. Her eyes were a deep, glowing violet, and sharp. Pointed teeth peeked from her lips. Leo instinctively took a step back, raising a hand in peace. I'm not here to harm you," he said. The alien woman tilted her head, studying him with an intensity that made his chest tighten. Suddenly, she moved, faster than he could track, and sank her teeth into his arm. Pain shot through him, sharp and icy, but before he could scream, the bite stopped. Then she froze. Her eyes widened as if she recognized him, and her voice, soft and trembling, whispered, "It's you!" Leo stumbled backward, blinking in shock. "What? What do you mean? Who are you?" The alien woman took a step back, her body stiff as ice. The energy flowing through him from the bite felt strange, almost warm despite the cold. His body tingled, and he realized he wasn't bleeding. Somehow her bite had not harmed him. It had done something else. Something different. Before he could speak again. She disappeared into the shadows of the canyon, leaving only footprints in the snow. Leo stood there, shaking and confused. His mind raced with questions. Who was she? Why had she recognized him? And what had happened when she bit him? He knew he could not stay in the canyon forever. The wind was picking up, stronger now, and the temperature was dropping. He began walking back toward his tent, scanning the area for any signs of danger. Every shadow seemed alive. Every gust of wind sounded like whispers. Back at the outpost, Leo removed his gloves and looked at his arm. The skin where she had bitten him was perfectly normal. No marks, no blood, nothing. Only a faint warmth lingered. He sat down and tried to focus on the data his scanner had recorded. Symbols appeared on the screen, strange geometric patterns that seemed familiar, though he could not place them. That night, Leo slept fitfully. He dreamed of the alien woman, again. In his dreams, she was not attacking him, but guiding him through a landscape of shimmering ice and floating lights. She showed him visions of distant planets, of civilizations that moved gracefully through the stars. And always, her eyes met his, full of recognition and something like hope. When he woke, the sun had barely risen, casting long shadows across the icy plains. Leo felt different. though he couldn't explain why. The warmth from the bite lingered, and he sensed a connection, a thread linking him to the mysterious alien woman. He packed his equipment and returned to the canyon, determined to understand what had happened. The wind whipped around him, carrying the faint scent of frost and something else. Leo paused. The footprints in the snow were gone, but small traces of movement were visible on the ice walls. Someone or something had passed this way recently. "All right, let's see who you are," he murmured, scanning the area with his device. The scanner beeped rapidly, signaling high-energy readings. Leo followed the signal, careful not to make sudden movements. Suddenly, the alien woman appeared again, stepping out from behind a wall of ice. This time, she did not attack. She simply watched him, her expression unreadable. Leo raised his hands slowly. "I don't want to hurt you. I need to understand," he said. The alien's eyes glowed softly, and she moved closer, circling him like a predator sizing up its prey, but not threateningly. Leo realized she was not here to fight. She was curious. Then she spoke, her voice barely audible over the wind. "You are different." Leo frowned. Different how? Her gaze seemed to pierce his mind, and a strange warmth filled him. "You carry it," she whispered, almost to herself. "The energy, it is yours." Before he could respond, she leaned forward slightly, and Leo felt the same icy bite on his arm again. This time it was quick, a brief touch, yet the warmth spread through his veins, stronger and brighter than before. She pulled back and again froze, staring at him with wide eyes. "It is you," she repeated. Leo's heart raced. The words felt important, like a key to a mystery he had not yet begun to understand. "Who are you? Why me?" he asked, shivering. In the cold, the alien woman did not answer. Instead, she stepped back and vanished into the icy shadows once more. Leo watched her disappear, the snow settling over her footprints as if she had never been there. He knelt in the snow, touching the place where she had bitten him. The warmth lingered, pulsing like a heartbeat. Leo knew one thing for certain. He had just crossed into a world far beyond anything he had imagined, and the alien woman, Nara, he decided to call her in his mind, was the key. With determination, he rose. He would find her again. He would understand the bite, the energy, and why she had whispered those words. And somehow, he felt certain that their encounter was only the beginning of something much greater than either of them could imagine. The wind howled once more, carrying the echo of her whisper. "It's you." Leo's journey had begun. The morning sun rose over the icy canyon, casting long, cold shadows that stretched like fingers across the snow. Leo sat in his small research tent, sipping lukewarm coffee, though it did little to chase away the chill. His mind, however, was far from the cold. He couldn't stop thinking about the alien woman, Nara. Her bite, her whisper. "It's you." The words echoed in his head like a puzzle he had to solve. He flexed his fingers, noticing again the faint warmth from her bite. It was subtle, but it was there. A gentle pulse, almost like a heartbeat. Something about it felt alive, almost aware. Leo reached for his scanner and began reviewing the data from the previous day. Strange patterns emerged. Geometric symbols, etched faintly into the ice where Nara had appeared. They weren't natural formations. Someone, or something, had made them intentionally. Leo's curiosity outweighed his caution. He packed a small bag with essentials: scanner, data pads, and a compact energy source. Today, he would return to the canyon and follow whatever trail. Nara had left. The cold stung his face, but he barely noticed. His thoughts were entirely on her and the strange energy she carried. As he walked across the ice plains, he noticed faint traces in the snow, footprints too small and delicate for a human, but larger than any normal animal. He followed them, carefully, scanning for the energy signature he remembered from yesterday. The signal grew stronger, pulling him deeper into the canyon. Suddenly, the wind shifted, and Leo felt a strange tingling in his chest. He stopped. The air around him shimmered, faintly, like heat rising from a desert, but colder. The sensation was familiar, like the warmth from Nara's bite. He instinctively looked around, scanning the shadows for movement. "Hello?" he called softly. "I'm not here to hurt you." No response came, only the echo of his voice bouncing across the ice. Then a faint shape moved in the corner of his eye. Nara appeared, stepping from behind a frozen wall of rock. Her hair flowed around her like silver mist, and her violet eyes glowed softly in the dim light. She did not approach this time. She merely watched him, silent and cautious. Leo raised his hand in greeting. "I want to understand what happened yesterday. Why did you bite me? And what did you mean when you said, 'It's you'?" Nara's eyes narrowed slightly, as if struggling to choose her words. Finally, she spoke in a voice like a soft wind. "You carry something rare. Something my people have waited for. I did not know it would be you until I touched your energy." Leo frowned, trying to understand. "Energy? What do you mean?" She stepped closer, and Leo noticed that her steps made no sound. The air around her seemed to pulse gently, almost alive. "Your ancestors," she whispered, "left traces across the stars. Their energy remained hidden until one like you arrived. You awaken it." Leo felt a shiver, part fear and part wonder. "Awaken what?" Nara tilted her head. "Power, knowledge, connection. You can see, feel, and influence things others cannot, but you must learn." Before Leo could ask more, Nara raised her hand, pointing toward a cavern on the far side of the canyon. Strange symbols glimmered faintly in the ice near its entrance. "Follow. Learn. Understand," she said, then stepped back into the shadows, her figure blending with the icy walls. Leo hesitated for a moment, then gathered his courage and moved toward the cavern. The entrance was narrow and covered in frost, but as he stepped inside, he felt warmth growing stronger. The walls glowed, faintly with intricate alien symbols. They pulsed softly, almost like they were alive. He touched one carefully with his gloved hand. The moment he did, visions flashed in his mind. Stars moving in patterns, distant planets glowing, and civilizations unlike anything he had seen. He stumbled back, trying to catch his breath. This is incredible," he whispered. He realized then that Nara had not just bitten him. She had connected him to something far greater than he could understand. A sudden sound made him turn. Nara had appeared again, standing silently behind him. Her gaze was intense but not threatening. "You see it," she said simply. The connection is real, but you must control it. Fear will block it. Leo nodded, feeling a mixture of awe and nervousness. How do I control it? You must trust yourself, she replied. Trust the energy inside. It has always been yours, waiting to be awakened. Others will try to take it. You must be ready. As they spoke, the air shimmered again, and Leo realized he could sense her thoughts, faintly, like a whisper in his mind. He felt her curiosity, her caution, and her growing trust in him. This connection was unlike anything he had experienced. He realized that while Nara was powerful, she had not known him before yesterday. There was something unique about his presence, something that even advanced aliens recognized. The day passed quickly as Nara guided him deeper into the cavern. She showed him how to sense the faint energy currents that flowed through the ice, teaching him to follow them, understand them, and even influence them slightly. Leo struggled at first, but the warmth in his veins from her bite seemed to respond to his focus, guiding him, encouraging him. By evening, Leo emerged from the cavern, exhausted but exhilarated. The sun was setting, casting long shadows across the icy plains. He looked at Nara and smiled, though he was sure she could read his thoughts anyway. I think I understand a little now. This is amazing. Nara's eyes softened, and she nodded. Tomorrow, you will learn more. The connection grows stronger with time. But remember, others may come. You must be careful. Leo watched her step back, fading into the shadows once more. The wind howled around him, carrying her, soft voice like a song through the canyon. It's you. As he trudged back to his tent, he thought about everything he had learned. He realized that humanity, though young in the galaxy, carried something extraordinary, something even advanced alien species could recognize and value. His ancestors' hidden energy, his awakening abilities, and his connection with Nara would change everything he thought he knew about his place in the universe. That night, as he drifted into sleep, visions came again. Stars, distant worlds, and Nara standing beside him, guiding him toward something greater. He understood now that their meeting was no accident. The journey was only beginning, and the mysteries of the canyon and the galaxy awaited him. Leo's heart beat faster, not from fear, but from excitement. He was no longer just an explorer of ice and rocks. He was a part of something larger, something extraordinary. And with Nara's guidance, he would uncover the true potential within himself, and perhaps the secret power hidden in all of humanity. The whisper of her words lingered again in his mind, soft and certain. It's you, Leo smiled. He was ready. The icy wind bit at Leo's face as he made his way back into the canyon. Every step crunched softly in the fresh snow, and the pale sunlight reflected off the ice in dazzling patterns. Today, he was not just following the faint traces of energy. He was going to find Nara again. He had spent the night replaying their encounter in his mind, studying the visions she had shown him, and trying to understand the strange warmth that pulsed inside him from her bite. The canyon was quiet, too quiet. The echoes of his footsteps bounced off the walls, reminding him of the vast emptiness. Then he stopped. A faint shimmer in the distance caught his eye. He squinted and saw her, Nara, standing on a narrow ice ledge, her silver hair flowing like a river of light. She was watching him, unmoving, her violet eyes glowing softly. Leo swallowed his nervousness and stepped forward. "Nara," he called, "I'm here. I want to understand more. Please let me help." For a moment, she didn't move. Then, with a grace that seemed almost otherworldly, she descended from the ledge, landing silently on the ice in front of him. Leo noticed the subtle way the ice beneath her feet seemed to respond, glowing faintly with the energy that radiated from her. "You came," she said softly, her voice carrying a musical quality that made the air feel warmer despite the cold. "I had to," Leo replied, keeping his tone calm. "What you showed me yesterday, it was incredible. I want to understand it. I want to learn." Nara studied him for a long moment. Then she nodded. "Very well. But first, you must understand why I am here. My people. We have watched your kind for many generations. Humans are young in the galaxy, yet you carry something rare, something we have waited for." Leo frowned. "Rare? What do you mean?" "You have the energy of your ancestors," Nara explained, her voice steady and calm. "Long ago they traveled between stars, leaving traces of this energy across many worlds. Most humans are unaware of it. But you can awaken it. You can sense it and you can influence it." Leo's mind raced. "So it's not just me? There are others?" "Perhaps," Nara said, her eyes softening. "But few are ready. You are special, Leo. That is why I froze when I bit you. I recognized the energy at once. It is yours." Leo felt a mix of awe and disbelief. I don't know if I'm ready for something like that." "You will learn," she said gently, "and I will guide you. But you must trust yourself. Fear will block the energy. You must focus and feel it within you." She reached out, her hand hovering near his arm. "Do you feel it?" she asked. "The warmth from the bite?" Leo nodded. He concentrated, and slowly the tingling spread through his veins again. It was not just warmth, it was alive, pulsing with a gentle rhythm that seemed to respond to his thoughts. He felt a connection to Nara, a link that went beyond sight or sound. "Yes," he whispered. "I feel it." "Good," she said. "Now follow me. There is a place in this canyon where the energy is strong. You must see it for yourself." Together they walked deeper into the canyon. The walls grew taller, and the air shimmered faintly with the strange energy that surrounded them. Leo noticed that the snow beneath Nara's feet glowed faintly as she walked, leaving behind patterns of light that disappeared slowly, as if they were guiding him. After a long walk, they reached a vast chamber hidden behind a wall of ice. The entrance was narrow, but inside, the cavern opened into a wide space filled with floating crystals. They glowed with a soft light, casting rainbow reflections on the ice walls. Leo felt his heart race. The energy here was intense, stronger than anything he had sensed before. "This is it," Nara said softly. "This is where the energy of your ancestors lingers. Here, you will learn to feel it, to follow it, and to understand it. But it will not be easy. You must concentrate, and you must trust yourself." Leo stepped forward, reaching out to touch one of the glowing crystals. The moment his fingers brushed its surface, visions filled his mind. Distant worlds, civilizations, moving among the stars, and humans traveling across galaxies long before he had imagined. He stumbled back, overwhelmed, but Nara's hand on his shoulder steadied him. "Focus," she said. "Breathe. Feel the energy. Do not fight it. Let it guide you." Leo closed his eyes and took a deep breath. Slowly, the chaos of visions settled into a rhythm. He felt the flow of energy within himself, pulsing like a heartbeat. He realized he could sense the paths of energy around him, the currents that ran through the ice, the faint trails that linked the crystals together. "You are learning quickly," Nara said, her voice filled with quiet admiration. "Few humans have awakened so fast. You have a strong connection, and you must use it wisely. Others will come, and they may not be as patient or as kind as I am." Leo nodded, feeling a sense of purpose growing inside him. "I understand. I will learn. I will be ready." Nara smiled faintly, her sharp teeth showing briefly in a delicate curve. "Good. Tomorrow you will learn more. But today, you have taken the first step. Remember, the energy is part of you now. It will grow with your focus and your will. Trust it and trust yourself." As the sun began to set outside the cavern, casting long, golden streaks across the ice, Leo and Nara stood together, sensing the energy that pulsed through the chamber. The bond between them had grown stronger, subtle but undeniable. For the first time, Leo felt that he was not alone in this vast frozen world. When they left the cavern, the wind howled again, but it no longer felt threatening. The energy around Leo and Nara seemed to push back against the cold, a gentle shield of warmth that traveled with them. Leo realized that his life had changed forever. He was no longer just an explorer. He was someone special, someone chosen to awaken abilities, hidden within himself and perhaps within all of humanity. That night, as Leo returned to his tent, he thought about everything he had seen and learned. He felt a spark of excitement mixed with determination. Nara's words echoed in his mind. Trust the energy. Trust yourself. He knew that their journey together was only beginning, but he also knew that he was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Outside, the canyon stretched into the darkness, the wind carrying whispers of ice and energy. Leo's heart beat steadily, not with fear, but with anticipation. He had made first contact with Nara, the alien who recognized him, and in doing so, he had taken the first step toward uncovering the hidden potential of humanity in a galaxy full of mysteries. And somewhere in the shadows, Nara watched him, her eyes glowing softly, confident that the bond between them would grow stronger, and that the future of their shared journey was only just beginning. The next morning, the icy canyon was alive with pale sunlight reflecting off the frozen walls. Leo stepped outside his tent, stretching his stiff muscles. His mind was still buzzing from the visions and lessons of the previous day. He could feel the energy flowing faintly within him, a gentle warmth that pulsed like a rhythm all its own. Today, Nara had promised, they would begin real training, learning how to sense and use that energy. Leo met Nara at the edge of the canyon. She was waiting silently, her silver hair glinting in the sunlight. The air around her seemed to shimmer, faint trails of energy following her movements. Leo felt a thrill of anticipation. He had been studying the energy since yesterday, and now it was time to put his understanding to the test. "Today," Nara said softly, "you will learn to follow the energy currents and influence them. It will not be easy, but I will guide you. Leo nodded, trying to steady his racing heart. I'm ready. They walked together across the ice plains, moving toward a narrow canyon where the energy readings had been strongest. As they walked, Nara explained her people's abilities. We survive in extreme conditions by drawing energy from the environment. We do not harm others. Our strength comes from understanding the flow of energy around us, and now you can sense it too. Leo listened closely, fascinated. So it's like a map of power that only some can see? Nara nodded. Yes, you feel the currents, the connections between life and matter. Most humans cannot, but your energy allows you to interact with it. You are rare. They reached the entrance of the narrow canyon. Ice formations towered above them, sharp and glittering. Leo could feel the energy here more strongly, pulsing beneath his feet. He extended his hand instinctively, sensing the currents as Nara had taught him. The warmth spread through his veins, stronger than before, and he realized he could follow the trails in the ice, moving from crystal to crystal like a path. Good, Nara said, watching him with quiet admiration. Now, try to influence the energy. Shift it slightly. It will respond to your focus. Leo concentrated. Slowly, the faint glow of the ice crystals changed, growing brighter along the path he traced. The energy pulsed in response to his thoughts. He stepped back, amazed. I did it, he whispered. Nara smiled, a rare expression that softened her sharp features. You are learning quickly. Few have your connection. Continue to focus, and it will grow stronger. For hours they worked together. Leo learned to sense the energy in the ice, to follow its subtle currents, and to influence its flow. Nara guided him patiently, showing him small tricks, how to move energy to reveal hidden paths, how to amplify its warmth to create a protective shield, and how to read the faint impressions left behind by other beings. As the sun began to lower in, the sky casting long golden streaks across the icy canyon, Nara paused. You have learned much today, but there is more to your potential. You must understand the connection between energy and thought. Your mind guides the energy, and your emotions shape it. Fear blocks it. Confidence strengthens it. Leo nodded, feeling the truth in her words. I feel it. I can sense how my focus changes the flow. Good, Nara said. Tomorrow we will go further. There are areas in this canyon where energy is unstable, and you will need to learn to navigate it. That will test your control and your mind. As they began to return toward the tent, Leo noticed subtle changes in Nara's behavior. She was quieter than before, less sharp in her movements, almost contemplative. Her eyes occasionally softened when they met his, and he realized that the bond between them was growing stronger. He could feel it in the energy pulses, faint, but steady, like a gentle tug connecting them. Leo, Nara said suddenly, stopping mid-step. You are different from others I have encountered. Not only because of your energy, but because of your courage and your curiosity. You do not fear the unknown, and that makes you strong. Leo felt a warmth in his chest at her words. I don't feel strong yet. I want to understand. Understanding is strength, she replied simply. Courage comes from trying, not from knowing. They continued walking in silence for a while, the wind whistling softly through the canyon. Leo realized he felt safer with her beside him. not because she was stronger, but because he trusted her guidance and believed in her judgment. For the first time, he sensed that humans, though young and inexperienced in the galaxy, had a potential that even advanced beings could recognize and value. Suddenly, a faint ripple of energy passed through the ice, startling Leo. "What was that?" he asked. Nara's eyes narrowed. "Other beings are nearby," she said. "They are drawn to the energy, curious, perhaps cautious. We must be careful. Humans attract attention, and your awakening does not go unnoticed." Leo felt a thrill of excitement and concern. "So there are others like you watching us?" "Not like me," Nara said, "but they sense the energy. You must learn to move through it without drawing attention. That is part of your training." For the rest of the afternoon, Leo practiced sensing and shifting the currents quietly, learning to mask his presence within the energy flows. Nara guided him through intricate paths, teaching him subtle control and focus. By the time they returned to the tent, Leo was exhausted but exhilarated. He had learned more in one day than he had imagined possible. As they settled in for the night, Nara remained outside for a moment, watching the icy horizon. Leo followed her gaze and saw the sun dipping below the distant peaks, casting everything in soft gold and silver. "You've done well today," Nara said, turning to him. "But remember, the energy is alive. It responds to all who touch it. You must be patient, cautious, and respectful. That is how you grow stronger." Leo nodded, feeling a deep respect for her wisdom. "I understand. I will practice and learn. I won't waste this opportunity." Nara's violet eyes softened and she nodded. "I know. That is why I chose to awaken you. The energy will guide you, but you must choose how to use it. And together, we will explore its full potential." As Leo drifted into sleep that night, he felt the warmth of the energy pulse gently within him. Nara's presence was nearby, a silent reassurance, a bond forming that went beyond words. He realized that he was no longer alone in the frozen canyon. He had a guide, a friend, and perhaps a partner in uncovering the hidden power of humanity. In the galaxy, and somewhere in the shadows, Nara watched, her eyes glowing faintly. She knew that the bond they shared would grow stronger with each passing day, and that the journey they had begun together would reveal wonders neither of them could yet imagine. Leo's heart beat with anticipation. The canyon was no longer just ice and snow. It was a place of learning, growth, and discovery. And with Nara's guidance, he would rise to meet the challenges ahead. The icy canyon was quiet as Leo followed Nara through narrow passages of glimmering ice. Today felt different. The air seemed charged, as if the energy itself was aware of their presence. Leo could feel the warmth pulsing stronger within him, guiding each step. Nara walked beside him silently, her eyes scanning the surroundings, alert to even the faintest shift in the currents of energy. "Leo," she began, her voice calm but serious, "there is something you must know, something that explains why I froze when I first bit you." Leo glanced at her, curiosity and concern mingling in his chest. "Why? What did you see?" Nara stopped and turned to him. Her violet eyes held an intensity that made Leo's stomach tighten. "I recognized a pattern in your energy," she explained. "A pattern that belongs to your ancestors. Long ago, humans traveled beyond their home planet. They left traces of their energy in many places across the galaxy, hidden, dormant. Most humans are unaware, but you carry it within you. You can awaken it. Leo shook his head, trying to process her words. My ancestors traveled in space? That's impossible. Humans only reached the stars recently. Nara's expression softened. Your history has been forgotten. You are not the first human to leave Earth. Your people have potential beyond your understanding. The energy in your veins is proof. It connects you to your ancestors, to the paths they left across the stars. Leo's pulse quickened. He had felt something extraordinary from the moment Nara had bitten him, but he had not imagined it was tied to a lineage of ancient spacefarers. So, that's why you recognized me? He asked quietly. Yes, Nara said, her voice almost a whisper. Few humans have this energy fully awakened. Most are unaware their potential dormant. But you carry it strongly. That is why I froze. I knew immediately that you are the one. Leo's mind raced with questions, but Nara raised a hand, gently stopping him. There is more. The energy within you is not just for sensing or following currents. It can be shaped, focused, and guided. You can influence the flow of matter, the paths of energy, even the connections between distant places. But it is dangerous if not controlled. That is why I am here, to guide you. He looked at her, awe and fear mixing in equal parts. Control? It? I don't even know where to begin. Nara's eyes softened. You have already begun. The bite, the connection, the lessons you have learned. These are the first steps. You are learning faster than I expected. That is why I will reveal the truth of your lineage. She led him to a larger chamber, hidden deep in the canyon, where the ice walls glowed faintly with symbols similar to those from the previous cavern. The energy here was stronger, almost alive, and Leo could feel it thrumming around him. Nara gestured to a crystal at the center of the chamber. This crystal, she said, holds the record of your ancestors' journeys. Place your hand upon it and focus. Let the energy flow through you. Leo hesitated, then reached out. The moment his fingers touched the smooth surface, a rush of visions filled his mind. He saw ships gliding through the stars, humans exploring alien worlds, leaving behind energy markers to guide future generations. He saw civilizations thriving, knowledge shared across planets, and humans leaving their mark in quiet, hidden ways. He stumbled back, overwhelmed. This is incredible. I never imagined... Nara placed her hand gently on his shoulder. You were meant to see this. You were meant to awaken. Your ancestors left this for someone like you. You carry the responsibility now to understand, to guide, and to protect this energy. You are the key to reconnecting humanity with the greater galaxy. Leo took a deep breath, trying to steady his racing thoughts. But why me? There must be others like me. There may be, Nara admitted, but your energy is unique. Strong, balanced, and ready. Others may awaken later, but you are the first to reach this point. That is why I am here. That is why I recognized you. Leo's mind reeled with the weight of her words. He had always thought of humans as young and limited, small in the vast galaxy. But now he realized that humanity's true potential was extraordinary. Even advanced alien species like Nara's people recognized it. So, what do I do now? He asked quietly. You learn, Nara replied simply. You practice. You explore. And you understand. The energy responds to thought, to focus, to will. You must train it, nurture it, and use it wisely. There will be challenges. There will be others who seek this energy for themselves. You must be prepared. Leo nodded, feeling a surge of determination. I will do it. I will learn and control it. I won't waste this chance. Nara's expression softened, and she gave a small smile. I knew you would say that. That is why I chose to awaken you. The bond we share will grow, and together, we will unlock the full potential of your energy. For hours they trained in the chamber. Nara guided Leo as he focused on channeling the energy through his hands, shaping it to follow his intentions. At first, the energy pulsed unpredictably, responding to his emotions, his doubts, even his fear. But with Nara's guidance, he learned to steady his mind, to focus his thoughts, and the energy began to obey him, flowing smoothly and harmoniously. By evening, Leo had accomplished something he never thought possible. He could sense the energy, currents around him clearly, influence their movement, and even create small bursts of warmth that flowed outward from his hands. The exhaustion from training was heavy, but the exhilaration and confidence that followed were stronger. Nara watched him with a quiet pride. You are ready for the next step, she said. Tomorrow we will explore the canyon further where the energy is unstable and unpredictable. That will test your control and your courage. You will learn how to navigate challenges that even I cannot predict fully. Leo felt a thrill of excitement and anticipation. I'm ready, he said, firmly. I want to learn everything. As the sun set behind the icy peaks, casting long shadows across the canyon, Leo and Nara sat side by side, sensing the flow of energy together. He realized that the connection between them was stronger now, more than just teacher and student. It was a bond built on trust, respect, and shared purpose. For the first time, Leo felt the weight of humanity's hidden potential in the galaxy and the responsibility that came with it. He understood now that his journey was far bigger than himself. It was about awakening what humans were capable of and proving that even a young species could rise to meet the vastness of the stars. And somewhere in the quiet shadows, Nara's eyes glowed faintly. She knew that the path ahead would be filled with challenges, but she also knew that Leo was ready. He carried the strength, the courage, and the energy of his ancestors, and together they would unlock the hidden potential that had waited for generations. Leo's heart beat with purpose. The revelations of the day had changed him forever. He was no longer just an explorer. He was a guardian of the energy, a bridge between humanity and the wider galaxy, and someone capable of achieving what even the stars themselves might have once thought impossible. The icy wind howled through the canyon as Leo followed Nara deeper into the frozen passages. Today's training was unlike anything they had done before. The energy here was unstable, unpredictable, and even Nara moved carefully, her violet eyes, scanning the air for disturbances. Leo felt the warmth from her bite pulsing more strongly than ever, guiding him, steadying him, and reminding him that he could trust his instincts. You must be careful, Nara warned, her voice calm but firm. The energy here reacts to your thoughts and emotions. Fear will create obstacles. Confidence will clear your path. Leo nodded, gripping his gloved hands tightly. I understand. I'll focus. They entered a wide cavern where jagged ice pillars rose from the ground like frozen towers. The energy pulses around them shimmered erratically, weaving through the crystal formations in waves that seemed alive. Leo could feel the currents tugging at him, testing his control. He closed his eyes and breathed deeply, letting the warmth flow through his veins. Slowly, the chaotic pulses began to settle, aligning with his heartbeat. "Good," Nara said quietly. "Now, move through the cavern. Feel the path the energy wants to create, not what you expect it to be." Leo stepped forward cautiously. The ice beneath his boots glowed faintly with each step, responding to his presence. As he focused, small streams of light followed his hands, weaving around the jagged pillars. He realized he could sense where the energy flowed most strongly, almost as if the cavern itself was alive, guiding him. Suddenly, a sharp pulse of energy shot through the cavern, knocking him off balance. Leo stumbled and nearly fell into a deep crevice. "Whoa!" he shouted, regaining his footing. The air around him shimmered wildly, and he could feel the energy reacting to his fear. Nara stepped beside him, her hand gently resting on his shoulder. "Steady," she said. "Focus on the rhythm within you. The energy flows with your intent. You control it, not the other way around." Leo took a deep breath, feeling the pulse slow as he centered himself. Slowly, the energy responded to his focus, calming and aligning with his heartbeat once more. He smiled, realizing that his mind and the energy were beginning to work as one. "Excellent," Nara said, her eyes glowing softly. "Now, we move forward." They continued deeper into the cavern, the currents of energy becoming more unpredictable. At one point, Leo noticed faint shapes moving along the walls, shadows, or perhaps reflections of the energy itself. He felt a thrill of excitement and a touch of nervousness. "What are those?" he asked. "Tests," Nara replied. "The energy sometimes manifests challenges. These are not dangerous, but they test your control, focus, and courage. Ignore fear. Trust yourself and the connection we share." As they advanced, one of the energy currents formed a barrier, a shimmering wall of light and pulses that blocked their path. Leo's heart raced. The wall moved slightly, responding to his hesitation. He closed his eyes and focused on the warmth from Nara's bite, letting it flow through him. Slowly, he extended his hand, imagining the wall moving aside. The currents pulsed, resisting at first, then yielding. The barrier parted just enough for them to pass safely. "That's it," Nara said softly, a rare smile touching her lips. "You are learning quickly. Humans often underestimate their potential, but you are proving it now." Leo felt a surge of pride, mixed with excitement. "I didn't know I could do that," he admitted. "You can," Nara replied. "You just needed guidance and the courage to trust yourself." They continued through the cavern, encountering more challenges, currents that twisted unpredictably, pulses that tested his focus, and illusions of movement that played tricks on his mind. Each time, Leo learned to calm himself, focus on the rhythm of the energy, and use the warmth within him to guide the currents. By evening, they reached a chamber filled with floating crystal formations that emitted a soft, steady glow. The energy here was stronger than anything Leo had felt before, flowing in intricate patterns that intertwined with the crystals. He extended his hands and felt the currents respond smoothly, almost like a dance. Nara watched silently, clearly impressed. "You are ready," she said finally. Tomorrow we will leave the canyon and explore the outer plains. There, your abilities will be tested further by others who may notice the energy you carry. You must be prepared for anything." Leo nodded, excitement and determination shining in his eyes. "I understand. I'm ready." As they settled near the glowing crystals, Nara began to explain more about the energy. "It is connected to all life," she said. "It flows through planets, beings, and even the cosmos itself. Your ancestors left traces, but humans have largely forgotten. You are awakening that connection. One day you may guide others to understand it, too." Leo listened, feeling the weight and importance of her words. He realized that humanity, though young, had potential far beyond what anyone on Earth imagined. If he could control this energy and teach others to awaken it, they could explore the stars in ways that were previously impossible. As night fell, the canyon glowed softly under the light of distant stars, and Leo felt a sense of purpose unlike anything he had ever known. The trials of the day had strengthened him, and the bond between him and Nara had deepened. He was no longer just an explorer. He was a student of energy, a bridge to his ancestors, and a symbol of humanity's hidden potential. Somewhere in the distance, faint ripples of energy pulsed through the canyon, responding to their presence. Leo understood that this was only the beginning. The outer plains would bring new challenges, and others might come to test him. But he felt ready. Nara's eyes met his, glowing faintly in the darkness. "You have done well," she said softly. "But remember, courage and focus must guide you always. The energy is powerful, and you are its keeper now. Others will come, and you must be prepared to face them." Leo nodded, feeling the warmth of the energy pulse through him, steady and strong. "I'm ready, Nara. Whatever comes, I'll face it." The wind howled softly around them, carrying the whispers of energy through the icy canyon. Leo's heart beat with determination. He had passed the first true test of courage and control, and he knew that the challenges ahead would be even greater. Yet he felt confident, for he had the guidance of Nara, the wisdom of his ancestors, and the extraordinary energy within him. As he drifted into sleep that night, the pulsing warmth reminded him of the responsibility and potential he carried. Humanity, though young, had a future among the stars, and he, Leo, was at the beginning of unlocking that future. The morning sun cast pale gold across the icy plains of the canyon. Leo felt the warmth of the energy pulsing through him as he prepared for the final part of his training. Today, Nara had said, they would venture beyond the canyon into the outer plains where other beings, curious or cautious, might notice the energy he carried. This was the ultimate test of his abilities and his courage. Nara appeared beside him, her silver hair glowing softly in the early light. "Are you ready, Leo?" she asked. "I am," he replied, his voice steady. He could feel the energy within him, stronger than ever, and it responded to his thoughts like a second heartbeat. He was no longer the unsure explorer he had been. He was becoming someone extraordinary. They stepped out of the canyon and onto the open plains. The wind swept across the ice, carrying whispers of energy that pulsed faintly in the distance. Leo extended his hands instinctively, sensing the currents around him. They flowed in patterns, some familiar, some unpredictable. "Good," Nara said. "Now, remain focused. Others may be drawn to your energy. You must show control and courage." No sooner had she spoken than a faint shimmer appeared on the horizon. Leo squinted and saw a group of beings approaching, tall, slender, with reflective skin that shimmered in the sunlight. Their eyes glowed faintly as they studied him and Nara, sensing the energy flowing from Leo. "They are curious," Nara whispered. "Do not fear them. Show confidence." Leo felt his pulse quicken, but he focused, letting the warmth of his energy spread through his body. Slowly, he projected calmness, allowing the currents to form a protective field around him and Nara. The approaching beings paused, sensing his confidence and the strength of his presence. "You see," Nara said softly, "humanity has potential even they cannot ignore. You carry the energy of your ancestors and it is alive within you. Show them what that means." Leo nodded. He stepped forward slightly, raising his hands in a gesture of peace. The energy pulsed outward in waves, gentle but firm, like a heartbeat echoing across the plains. The beings hesitated, then slowly lowered their gaze, recognizing the balance and control he displayed. "You are impressive," one of the beings said, its voice melodic and soft. "Few have mastered the flow so quickly." Leo felt a surge of pride, but kept his focus. "I am still learning," he replied, "but I will continue to grow. My people, humans, we have much to offer the galaxy." The beings exchanged glances, as if surprised by his words. One stepped forward, placing a hand near the ground, and the ice responded, glowing brighter in response to Leo's energy. "Indeed," it said, "you carry a power rare among all species. Your ancestors left traces, and now you awaken them. It is remarkable." Leo smiled, feeling the truth of their words. He realized that humans, though young in the galaxy, were capable of incredible things. His courage, focus, and willingness to learn had allowed him to tap into something extraordinary, and now he could show it to others. Nara stepped beside him. "You have done well," she said softly. "But remember, this is just the beginning. Your potential grows with each challenge, and your responsibility is to guide, protect, and explore. Humanity's energy can achieve wonders if you choose to lead with courage and wisdom." Leo nodded, feeling the weight of her words, but also the excitement of the possibilities ahead. "I understand. I will not waste this opportunity. I will learn. I will grow. And I will share what I discover." The beings observed him for a moment longer, then slowly began to retreat, nodding in acknowledgement of his control and potential. Leo felt a wave of relief and exhilaration. He had faced his first true test outside the canyon, and he had done more than survive. He had impressed beings far more advanced than humans. Nara placed a hand on his shoulder. "You see, Leo? Humanity is not limited by what you have been taught or what others believe. Your courage, curiosity, and willingness to learn define you. That is what makes you strong." Leo smiled, feeling a deep sense of purpose. "I understand now. Humans may be young, but we have potential beyond what we can imagine. And with guidance, we can achieve greatness." They spent the rest of the day exploring the outer planes. Leo practiced sensing and shaping the energy in more complex ways, guiding currents around obstacles, and even creating patterns of light that danced across the ice. Nara observed and encouraged him, occasionally offering advice or demonstrating a technique. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows over the icy landscape, Leo realized something profound. The energy was not just a power to control or follow. It was a connection to his ancestors, to humanity, and to the wider galaxy. It was proof that humans could rise, explore, and thrive beyond the limits of their small world. "You have done exceptionally well today," Nara said softly. "Not just because of your skill, but because of your heart. The energy responds to courage, kindness, and curiosity. These are qualities humans possess in abundance. You are a living example of what your species can achieve." Leo felt a surge of pride and determination. "I will not forget this. I will continue to grow, and I will help others awaken their potential too." As night fell, the stars shimmered above the icy plains. Leo and Nara sat side by side, sensing the energy currents around them, feeling the pulse of the galaxy itself. For the first time, Leo truly understood the meaning of his journey. He was not just an explorer or a student, he was a representative of humanity's potential, a bridge between his people and the greater universe. Nara's eyes glowed softly in the starlight. "You have done well, Leo. Humanity is young, but with courage, curiosity, and the right guidance, your species can achieve wonders even I have not imagined. This is only the beginning." Leo smiled, feeling the warmth of the energy pulse through him. "I understand, and I'm ready for whatever comes next." The canyon lay quiet under the stars, the ice shimmering faintly with the energy of generations past. Leo felt the connection deep within him, a reminder of the courage, potential, and ingenuity that humanity carried. He knew that the future was vast and full of challenges, but he also knew that humans could rise to meet them, because even in the smallest hearts, extraordinary potential could awaken and shine among the stars. And as the wind whispered through, the icy plains, carrying echoes of energy and possibility, Leo felt certain of one thing. Humanity had been given a chance, and he would ensure that chance was realized. For the first time, he truly understood the meaning of Nara's words from that first encounter. "It's you." Yes, it was him, and through him humanity had begun to awaken.